Welcome to my YouTube, Jonas Colting's Naked Truth. And I thought we'd do this episode in English, like a Sunday wrap-up of the week for those of you English-speaking followers out there. And for those of you interested in ÖtillÖ and swimrun, there are a few out there. Not many, but it might be interesting to see how someone trains for the last month leading up to ÖtillÖ. So the backstory is that I am, for those of you who are new to the channel, I'm an old endurance professional athlete with emphasis on old these days, 52 years old. But I had a professional career as a triathlete with a few ITU World Championship medals, twice winning the Ultraman World Championships, and also by pure coincidence, one of the very first few athletes that ever competed in the ÖtillÖ, what was later dubbed ÖtillÖ, or what that was later dubbed rather swimrun. The race was called ÖtillÖ, but the format didn't really have a name. So I was in the inaugural event in 2006. You wouldn't believe how crazy it was. Actually, two Finnish guys, not swimming a single stroke, but rather doggy paddling on like an air mattress, or an air mattress each won the race. This is a two-man race. We DNF'd, me and my partner, basically every team day. It was like a survival quest out in the Swedish archipelago. No one could really find their way. There was a totally crazy amount of equipment that you had to carry with you, regardless of having to use it or not, like swim fins, for instance. The same thing happened in 2007. Which after we told the organizers that they really had to change the rules a little bit, or no one would ever show up to this event, and neither would we. And in 2008, they did change the rules, so you could do the race a little bit more bare bones, meaning you didn't have to carry a bunch of stuff with you that you didn't need. For instance, you didn't need to swim in a life preservative. Wetsuit is good enough. And these guys that organized the event, they didn't hail from a triathlon or swimming background, so they didn't really know. They were just really keen on keeping people safe. But I had a 3-year streak winning the race 2008 to 2010. Was actually pretty close to winning in 2011. I was in the lead, but my partner in the lead got really sick, violently sick, had the worst case of the flu, like really high fever, and basically passed out on the course. So we had a DNF in the lead. Anyway, I kept doing the race. The sport grew, the event grew. It gained quite a notoriety and a reputation, and it became a bucket list race for a bunch of endurance athletes out there. And up to last year's race, I had participated in each and every of the ÖtillÖ World Championship races on the first Monday in September every year. Unfortunately, 10 days out from last year's race, I broke my arm. And that, I'm not going to make a long story about that, but I do have a prior incident with my elbow. I broke it 30 years ago. It was pretty damaged. I did have to do a surgery at the time, and my joint has always been, let's say, challenged on my left elbow joint, on the radius bone. And I fell on the exact same spot, and I now broke my ulnar bone. And that wasn't a good thing to break. So my 30-year-old injury in my elbow, together with a new one, is now hailed by doctors and experts as the worst case, the worst elbow they've ever seen on an athletic person. And they call me a medical miracle, being able to swim or do chin-ups or surf, stand-up paddleboarding or whatever I'm doing, cross-country skiing, because it's really damaged. And however, I missed last year's race, but I came back to training pretty good. My arm, it doesn't get any more straight than this, unfortunately. But I do swim pretty well, and it's not really bothering me. There may be a piece of a small bone fracture that sort of, during the fracture, that sort of a splinter or like a piece of the broken bone that got stuck in the joint. Who knows? Anyway, I'm not doing a lot of endurance training these days. I do a lot of health training. I'm not really interested in pushing myself that hard. I don't think, after doing it for 30 years, I don't think it's productive for my long-term health. I am as old as I've ever been, but I also have 3 young kids. So I'm a 52-year-old business owner in Sweden with 3 young kids. I have a beautiful life and a beautiful wife, but I don't really have the time or the desire to train as I did in the past. These days, I typically do endurance training. I don't do it, I mean, from a normal person standpoint, I'm sure it's pretty hard, but from an elite endurance athlete standpoint, it's not really hard. It's not really structured. I don't run that much. I've had some overuse injuries or just wear and tear over the years. So, and my training philosophy really is to do no harm. So if my running isn't really feeling right, like if I don't feel it's doing me any good, like it's not doing me any favors, I'm basically not going to run. I'm just going to jump on my stand-up paddleboard instead, or go with do a cross-country ski session in wintertime, or I'll do a rowing ergometer or a ski erg session, or I'll go to the gym or to the pool, or go hike, or take my mountain bike for a ride or something like that. And I go to the gym every day. So but for this race, ÖtillÖ, I'm ramping up a bit. I have no desire of going fast. I have no desire of going hard. I have no desire whatsoever of taking any chances. ÖtillÖ is really a what is it? It's a survival race, basically. You're going from one part of the Swedish archipelago outside of Stockholm to another part. You're going from Sandhamn to ÖtillÖ, and there are about 20 or some islands, rugged, not meant for running, a lot of them, and you swim in between. So you swim, run, swim, run, swim, run. In total, there is about 10 kilometers of swimming, and you swim in your shoes, of course, and you run in your wetsuit. So it's an amphibious race in that way. And if you're a decent swimmer like I am, you probably have to tow your partner along as well. So 10K of swimming, about 60K of running, translated loosely, bushwhacking, cliff jumping, barely hanging on, trying not to kill yourself, not slipping, falling, tripping. But it's a beautiful race to be part in. It is spectacular in every sense. You do hate it while you're doing it. At least I am. It's not my kind of running at all. I'm not an orienteer. My surface couldn't be flatter for me if I were to run fast or enjoy running. I mean, a track is really where I excel. The track, or undulating flat terrain, also very good. Anyway. It's a beautiful race. I'm honored to have been part of sort of building the swim run reputation and building the brand of ÖtillÖ. They do put on marvelous races. I think that swim run is a great sport for people to be involved in. It's a beautiful sport to involve and introduce your kids into. It's a great sport to enjoy with your spouse, and races are beautiful. People are beautiful. I mean, no one really cares about who's winning. Everyone is being celebrated, and everyone finishing are happy, very happy. So it is beautiful in that sense. I'm wrapping up my training. It's about a month out now. For those of you understanding Swedish, you've been following maybe 10 of these videos. I'm practicing my skill or my habit of doing YouTube videos. They're not going to be sophisticated. Basically me just speaking into the camera. I do film a few of my workouts, but I can't have editing. It can't take too long. I won't be able to do it. And this is a reality for me as a 52-year-old. And this is the reality for you out there. I guess the same. I mean, Right now it's a Sunday night. It's 9 o'clock p.m. I just came back from the gym. I have a ton of work to do because I'm running my own business. I do a lot of coaching and I'm revamping my coaching site, and it's launching pretty much right now. So I was up at 4:40 this morning. Lucky for me, my wife is carrying a huge load. I'm trying to do my part. Today I've been mainly focusing on work. It's 9 o'clock. I just came back from the gym for my third workout. I've cooked up a meal. This is what I'm eating after I'm done. Eating and doing YouTube videos really don't go hand in hand, but this is about 600 grams of beef, some fruits, yellow watermelon, and some olive oil. Salt, of course, as well. A little bit of garlic. So that's what I'm eating. So this is the thing about being older and having a job or a business and or kids and or family. I mean, there is just not enough time. And that is really one reason why I wouldn't put forth any ambitious goals as an endurance athlete. I've enjoyed following my good friend Gordo Burns come back to racing and to peak form and to having his 1,000-day process in which he ended up doing what we believe is the world's best Ironman time for a 55 to 59 age grouper. So that was awesome. But Gordo would also be the first person to say that now that he is past those sort of toddler years or small kids years or whatever you would label them in English, life opens up again, and there may be possibility to excel and to sort of put forth those goals. For me, absolutely not in the position that I am, and I'm very content in just building my health, strengthening my health with the goal of being super fit, looking super fit, feeling super fit, being very, very healthy, energetic, and just being strong and feeling good about myself, and just sort of age with dignity, or whatever cliche you could use, because there is no time. I mean, if I were to train hard and serious, and if I would bring in the mindset that I've had as an elite athlete, I would royally fuck my life. Definitely. And I would be tired all the time. I would be weathered, and I would be thin, and I would be frail in so many ways. Anyway, today's training, 3,000 meters of swimming, 3K workout in Alideberg. I did swam with my good friend Tobias, with whom I finished ÖtillÖ with. We did a pull session. I did 16 by 50 warm up, and then we did our main set, 21 by 100. This is long course meters, 21 by 100 on the 135 interval, and our structure is going 1 easy and 2 hard for 7 laps. Usually we do 30 of these, but I couldn't really muster the energy today to do 30, so we did 21. But we did go fast though, so I pretty much did my fastest set in a long time. I averaged below 110 on all the fast ones, which is really good for me. And a few of them were on 108, so swim shape is really coming along. And then I ran 8K pretty much straight after. Ran, but shuffled along. My run is mediocre as fuck. But a few weeks ago I couldn't run at all because I had some sort of problem with my calf, and problems at my age and with my background, really they just sort of wander around. If you were to have a run where nothing felt at all and you just felt like you did 20 years ago, that would be the best thing ever to happen, but rarely these days occur. So, but I'm getting more and more pain-free. I've had problems with my soleus muscle, then traveling down to my Achilles tendon. So I'm carefully approaching the run. So I'm doing like a 1K on and then followed by a 100-meter walk. So like I said, very mediocre no goals, not trying to stress, not trying to bring in the competitive mindset, not trying to push it, just being very happy with chopping wood and carry water at this stage, and basically all the way. If I just can run and get to the start line without getting more injured or being injured, breaking my arm, that would be awesome. So I did that, and then worked all day. The rest of the day, went to the gym for 30 minutes, did a lot of sort of free weights, rotational exercises, a few good mornings, and a few hamstring, really tough one-legged hamstring exercises on the Pilates ball. So 25 minutes of strength, doing serious strength workouts, both Monday and Tuesday with Albin, who's my PT at the moment for strength training. So those would be serious exercises. So the life of an aging endurance athlete with a goal just within reach, and that's the perfect time frame to train for me for something. If I were to set up the goals with 12 weeks out, that wouldn't be very good, because unintentionally, as soon as I think about training for something, it sort of takes the forefront of my mindset, and it really screws with a lot of other things in my life. Having to get that running, having to get that swimming, having to get that strength training in, and having to get that night's sleep in, which is of course always important, and having to get that nutrition in and the food in, which is also always important, but which is much more of a challenge when you're time constricted. Anyway, I hope you've enjoyed this English version of my Colting's Naked Truth. That's the name of my Swedish podcast. We rarely do in English. We rarely do English speaking episodes. We do have a few guests from time to time, but my aim is to at least do a Sunday wrap up, like a week wrap up on Sundays in English. My goal is over time, of course, to be more English videos also on social media, but believe it or not, I do speak better Swedish than I speak English, and I do have a bigger following in Sweden so far. However, Swedish people are really good at English, so we'll see where it takes us. Anyway, thanks for watching, and keep following.